You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day.
Let's go! And he is dead.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin
Herbert on the move and throws and touchdown.
Good ball, Herb.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
What is happening, my Charger brethren? Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Holy fucking Luya.
And Kyle, the coach, Duggan. I don't know what that means.
Hallelujah. The Chiefs lost the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Licked all those salty Chief tears.
So salty.
So delicious, so tasty.
Delicious.
Yes. Ah, man, what a game. What an ass whooping that game was. I don't know what was going on, but I definitely didn't want the Chiefs to win, and boy, did they not win.
They got spanked.
Yeah, they got smacked.
Oh, like usually you're waiting for them to come back and have a big play, and like they just got after his ass. Like he did not have a second. It was like Justin Herbert getting pressured every game, all day, all game long.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not as good.
Guess who can handle it better? Guess who can handle it better? I'm just saying, my boy can. My boy.
Yeah, man, it at a certain point, like, it just started getting sad. It was like,
It was
oh
wonderful.
my God.
I wasn't sad at all.
The line just couldn't protect Mahomes. He was running every play on, turf toe nonsense. So it's just, it was ridiculous.
I went to a Super Bowl party. And I was at, it wasn't a big one, just a couple of friends. And I was there, and it's like, everyone's wearing Chiefs stuff. And I was obnoxious at the very beginning, but most of the game I was just like, gosh, and like, it's just fist pumping underneath the, just like keeping it out of sight, like, because they were so bad. I was excited the whole game. They're like, wow, you really hate the Chiefs. I'm like, yeah, I really do.
That's what was wild to me, is looking at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and being like, okay, like the first 4 people that are scoring touchdowns are all people that were not on this team last year. You had Tom Brady, you had Gronkowski, you had Antonio Brown, and you had Leonard Fournette. It was just like, these guys weren't even on the team last year, and now they're all of a sudden, they're the ones that are scoring all the points in the Super Bowl. Absolutely crazy.
I'm not going to lie. I was rooting for the Buccaneers. Yeah. Obviously, I did not want the Chiefs to win. It was kind of fun rooting for the Tom Brady, the Gronkowski, Gronk spike. It was kind of fun. I get what the Patriots fans got to enjoy for so long.
Absolutely.
Because watching him like stutter step before he spiked the ball, it was pretty exciting.
I felt like I was on like the dark side watching that game. Like I was just like seething in like negative energy. Like, ooh, I wasn't excited about offensive plays or like big good plays. I was excited about the Chiefs not doing well. So it was kind of a dark, kind of gross vibe, but I loved every second of it.
It was. But now it's in the rearview mirror. We can look forward now to the next season. But I think the bigger news, Tom Brady, he's, the most winning quarterback of all the Super Bowls, whatever. That's great and all. But
yeah, you're the best.
Let's look over to our quarterback, Justin Herbert, who first won the Pepsi Zero Sugar Rookie of the Year, thanks to all the fans out there that went and voted. Yeah, crack yourself a cold one there. Yeah, thanks, Karen. I'm sure you contributed for at least half of those votes.
Yeah.
But then it came out on Saturday. My boys texted me like, Justin Herbert won Offensive Rookie of the Year. I was like, really? It's like confirmed, like for sure, positive? And it's like, oh yeah. So thank Jesus. Like everybody could just like stop griping and complaining and trying to compare a quarterback, Justin Herbert, to the wide receiver Vikings. He's a good player. I'm sure he is. He's had a great season, but it's official. Justin Herbert, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Suck it.
It's not going to stop Vikings right now. The Vikings fans are even more pumped to get in our faces.
They're just like us. They didn't have a good year, so they have their shimmering hope for the future in Justin Jefferson. So they're gonna be just behind him as much as we are, and he would have won it if it wasn't for Justin Herbert. But anyone that watched a Charger game knows that he was the Rookie of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings fans just never saw him play, so I understand. They're like, what, this LA Chargers quarterback that didn't really win many games, why is he the Rookie of the Year? But if you saw him play,
100%. The comparative, especially from the Pro Football Focus they were comparing Herbert to every other quarterback in the league and going, well, Herbert was only the 14th best quarterback in the league. But that's not what the Offensive Rookie of the Year award is for, dumb nuts.
And that was that was Pro Football Focus too, and they're a bunch of just don't even want to say what I'm thinking.
Yeah, our boy Craig rips into Pro Football Focus on the daily almost.
Unbelievable. He won the award, folks, because of how many fucking records he broke, man. I don't know how to get that through to these people.
I know.
He was also playing when he was never expected to play all season.
100%.
He was playing for a coach that wanted to run the ball 400 times a game.
Yes.
with like rookie wide receivers. We didn't have Keenan, Mike Williams, and Hunter Henry. It feels like we didn't have them all in one game. And Austin Eckler, they didn't play together once. So like what he did with what he had, his makeshift offensive line, he was the best passer under pressure in the whole league, not just rookies. Like you can't just look at, he threw for the 14th most yards. That doesn't mean anything.
That's dumb.
Everything he did.
There was one thing that really stood out to me that just kind of reminded me what other fans and other teams think about us is like there was the picture of, Herbert in our brand new beautiful stadium. And I love how they did the lighting and can do
it was really,
it's gorgeous.
That was really nice.
As somebody on, a lot of people are still taking shots at us. It's like, in the background, it's an empty stadium. They're like, yeah, I guess all the Charger fans showed up for their boy on that one. It's like it's the one thing that drives me fucking crazy is this, like, they don't have anything else to say other than there are no fans. So the fact that we got the Pepsi Rookie of the Year as well as this, like, there's no foot to stand on. Like, we outvoted the shit out of you guys.
100%.
We have a lot of fans. There's a lot of us. And as you can tell by our fan focus, there's not a lot of us live in Southern California.
Right.
So just shut the fuck up. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm just fucking tired of hearing it. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. You're gonna have to bleep some of that. Sorry, Wooly.
Dude, it's fine. That's half the joy of editing these podcasts.
Just shut it.
Just shut it. Yeah. And the argument of like, well, I guess quarterbacks are just going to win every offensive rookie of the year, but it's like Herbert was only the 10th quarterback in NFL history to win this award. Since 1957, I looked it up. I did the math. Since 1957, he's only the 10th quarterback to ever win the award. So put that argument to bed as well. Just everybody, just let the man like relish in this win and, be the offensive rookie of the year, please. Stop trying to take away his glory.
But it is also seeing our fan base so excited. Like this right here, we had a bad season, but this is bringing us together, man.
100%.
It's like we're all excited about it. But the fact that he won that, we won that, and his team won that. And he even said, like, his comment, is, we did this together. It's an honor that I would like to dedicate to the entire Chargers organization and Bolt family. I'm so thankful for my teammates, coaches, and everyone in the front office. Thank you for teaching me so much more than just the game of football.
Yes.
Mwah. Just
more yeses
kisses
for him. Yes.
Yeah, I love that guy so much, dude. He's on fire, and he's been interviewed on a lot of new shows, and he's getting good at getting more comfortable.
He was on the Pat McAfee podcast.
Yes.
And he was hilarious.
He was funny,
He
dude.
was really funny.
McAfee's awesome. He tried to catch him. He's like, "Yeah, your boy got stabbed with a golf tee." He like said something like that.
He just straight faced
and then he just straight faced it. But there was like, he's just holding it together so hard because it was really funny how he said it. I was he's like, dude, I respect that. Consummate pro.
That's awesome.
He's just cool, dude. He's cool under pressure. He's cool on the field. He's calm. He's just like that all over the place.
Yeah, and I do feel like we're starting to get a little bit more of his personality.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I thought. I thought that as he got more confident and he had some success, and that's why I think those 4 wins to end this season, they're on kind of a high note as a team. Like we saw with all of his teammates throwing up recognition to him all over social media. I mean, like defensive players, it seems like he has a relationship
both sides
with
of the
everyone.
ball. Yeah. I can't tell you how happy this entire fan base is to go from Phillip Rivers to this season, which was it was question marks. We didn't know what to expect. We were all expecting Tyrod Taylor, and to go with Herbert and to have him play as well as he did, and to know that this is the future of the franchise. And like you said, Kyle, that you got to see a little bit more of his personality. He's the type of quarterback that knows to mind his P's and Q's, to know that he is lucky to be here. He's not going out there like Manziel or anything like that. Like,
No.
he just, that's not him. But he knows that he's talented. He knows that he's there, and he's acting like he's been there before. And so as he gets more comfortable, you're right, we're going to see more of his glowing, bass fishing personality.
He's got a good head on his shoulders, and he was on a tear this last couple of weeks. He was on he did like a Traeger grills thing, because this victory brisket is here to stay. Like, we got to get like just a hat with like just a piece of meat on it, just a victory brisket hat, because he was with the Traeger grills guy and like did smoke some meat. And then he was on Austin Eckler's Twitch stream, which didn't seem like he played video games very much, but like at one point Austin was like, they were playing, I can't even remember what they were playing, Fortnite or something, and he's like, all right, so are you still back there? He's like, no, I'm at the whatever. He's like, oh, you're way ahead of me. It's like, he's even good at things he doesn't even know how to play. So he's awesome, and I'm just so thrilled, and he's made this offseason already so exciting, and it just started, so it's pretty sweet. And the players had some awesome things to say about it. You want to hit some of those?
Yeah, let's take a look at some of these. Let's see. Mike Davis said rookie of the bleeping year, Herbie. Let's see. Joshua Kelly, huge congratulations to my brother Justin Herbert, the rookie of the year. But you're so much more than that. You're truly a light and beautiful soul. Aw, you're an outstanding leader and a great friend. Congrats, bolt up, baby.
I like him. That was very sweet.
Very sweet. Yeah. I'm so anxious for next year. I want to see Joshua Kelly just come into it. Gabe Neighbors, hey man, get up. You've got an award to win. Beyond proud of my brother. This is much deserved. Rookie of the year, roomie of the year. I love that they were roommates.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he's saying, like, somebody was asking him, like, did he buy a house or something? He's like, no, I just got a townhome. He's like, are you going to buy a house soon? He's like, I don't know. He's just like having roommates. Just, like, hanging out with neighbors, figuring out how many receiving touchdowns a fullback record would be if he threw it to him every game. So that's fun.
I think that's great. Why not come home to a teammate that is there to help and support you and eat your brisket?
Yeah, buddy.
Let's see. Dan Feeney, well-deserved kid, offensive rookie of the year, mounted. Chris Harris Jr., congrats, Justin Herbert. Many more awards to come. Keenan Allen, just getting started. Justin Herbert, congrats, brother. So it just great to see the team come around, support him, and I just want next year now, please. This isn't fair now that we got to wait all these months to get to next year. But there's obviously a lot to get through. We've still got the draft. We got to figure out what's going on with our free agents and who we're keeping, who we're letting go. I think there's still even some coaching positions that need to get filled. So just congrats to Justin Herbert. And it's funny, when you said he's got a good head on his shoulders, head and shoulders. Oh, I see a sponsor. Head and Shoulders, because Patrick Mahomes did not win the Super Bowl. He is a Head and Shoulders sponsor. So let's brush Patrick Mahomes aside. Let's let Justin Herbert show off his big, long, wavy hair and a Head and Shoulders.
He's growing it back, by the way. He did say he's growing it back.
He better grow it back.
And I forgot. He said on the Twitch stream that the reason why he cut it is because he didn't deserve it. And the team was losing, so he had to get rid of it.
What does that even mean? He didn't deserve it.
That's what he just said. I didn't deserve it. I didn't deserve to look beautiful. I need to
look.
Got to make it look
I had to make myself ugly.
Yeah. I don't know what it means, but
make me look ugly.
Make it look ugly, Coach Lott.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, Justin. We couldn't think of a better guy to get it. But looking back at the Super Bowl, we actually did see a Charger at the Super Bowl. Joey Bosa in Rocket Mortgage commercial with Tracy Morgan. That was hilarious.
That was
so cool. Like,
that was awesome.
When was the last time we ever saw a Charger in any commercial? I think Phillip Rivers might have had one.
LT doing the shuffle.
Not really. Phil wasn't really in commercials. It was really kind of LT was the guy in most of them, and it wasn't really like that much. I don't remember. Maybe I'm wrong.
I remember he had that one commercial where he was like a kid running through and like breaking all these tackles.
Yeah,
and then
that
he
was
did
cool.
it.
too.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a Nike commercial. Or
Yeah,
something.
that was cool.
That was good.
But in commercials like this, the ones where they usually, they have like the State Farm, all those quarterbacks. Like we don't usually have.
We don't
guys from
usually
our
have
team
active
in it.
players.
Like a spokesperson.
In those kind of commercials, it's more like, look how athletic I am, kind of LT commercials, like the story of my trajectory.
Right. And LT had long since left the Chargers. So
yeah, so like getting him in a commercial like this is just awesome. And it's just a sign of where I think, the excitement for our team's going, and, the fact that
I feel it.
We're the Los Angeles Chargers, and we're pretty close to all these Los Angeles production companies.
That's
and
true.
want to get some LA Chargers.
Well, yeah, that's a
on.
good draw for free agency. If we can actually start getting some of these guys like
we get you Super Bowl commercials.
And,
Hopefully you're playing in them and not in the commercial. But
yeah.
And I hate to talk about the Super Bowl one more time, but there was just a really interesting kind of tidbit. Anybody that watched the Super Bowl saw that there was a streaker on the field at one point. The cameras cut away, but there's been some videos posted online that actually showed everything that went down, all the way down to the tackle in the end zone, and it was pretty dang funny.
Got leveled.
Yeah. he got rocked pretty
destroyed.
hard. But somebody posted this. I saw this on Facebook. I don't know if this is true or not, but if this is true, this is really quite interesting. So apparently, some guy met the Super Bowl streaker at Jay Alexander's restaurant while having lunch before leaving Tampa. He bet $50,000 on a prop bet at plus 750 that there would be a streaker at the Super Bowl. His buddy went out first as a diversion, so he didn't get caught as quickly as his friend. Cost him $1,000 to get out of jail, but he cleared $374,000 on the bet. That is insane. If that is true, that is so damn funny.
Wow, those prop bets are crazy.
There goes that bet.
I don't know how they can do that stuff. You can just manifest a prop bet and go run out on the field.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. $374,000 to run out on the field.
Good for him.
And get arrested in Tampa Bay of all places. So congratulations, buddy. If that truly is the case, then good on you.
Pretty happy in this picture.
I got to imagine, that there might be some
victory
realty
nachos
to it.
on that restaurant
for the whole restaurant. Yeah, pretty pleased. But let's see. Speaking of bets, apparently they're looking already now to the Super Bowl of next year. And right now, Chargers are tied with the Patriots and the Steelers as the 9th best odds to win Super Bowl 56 at plus 3,000.
Let's go to Vegas, boys. I'm going to put some money down on this because I'll take those. I like those odds. Give me some money.
I think that's a fair place to have us at 9th. Like, our expectations aren't being blown out of the water, and we're not just utter dog water. We're in the mix. We're in the talks for sure. So yeah. I like them odds. I like them odds.
Totally.
Let's see. Looking at some of the Charger news, we did officially lose Joe Barry to the Green Bay Packers. So it was nice while we had you for 2 weeks. Was it?
It was like what you said, Kyle. It was like our coaching staff is so good. They don't even have to go to a first meeting or first practice, and they're already getting promotion jobs somewhere else.
It's like the other team's like, oh wait, Staley hired you. All right, let's bring him in for president of the whole team.
Yeah,
he's got to be able to do something good.
We'll see what we get in that position. I think he was going to be the linebacker coach. Yeah. So we'll see who ends up coming into that spot. And then just before we started recording this podcast, we also found out that we've hired our assistant quarterback coach and offensive quality control dude, and that's going to be Chandler Whitmer. We are getting him from, I think, from Clemson of all places. But he played as a quarterback at the University of Connecticut from 2010 to 2014. So we're guessing that he's maybe 30 years old. If that,
yeah,
he's got to be. Yeah, it can't be more. It can't be older.
I know, but that's what I mean. Like maybe 30. He might be like 29.
Yeah.
So it's just adding more young faces to this coaching squad, which I'm not opposed to. We'll see where that ends up taking him. But apparently he worked at Ohio State coaching the wide receivers, which was where we ended up getting KJ Hill from. So there's at least some connection there between Chandler Whitmer and KJ Hill as far as coming to the Chargers. But as far as, what Brandon Staley sees in him or why he thinks he'd be a good fit as a assistant quarterback coach, time will tell. We'll just have to wait and see.
Staley's from Ohio. I guess that's all I got.
There you go. That's as good a take as any. So
Connection.
Happy to have you, Chandler Whitmer. Hopefully you don't get picked up by any other teams that need a
Congrats.
coordinator
You're now
position.
going to be a head coach.
Right? From assistant QB coach to offensive
You're
coordinator.
now on the quote unquote radar
That's
of a lot of
right.
teams.
That's
I don't know
right.
if we'll talk about him much, but can we call him Chandler Bing? I think I'd like that.
I don't know the reference. What's
How you doing? It's Friends.
Chandler Bing?
Oh,
Come
for
on, Adam.
Friends?
Dude, come get off my nuts. Friends was great and all, but I don't remember everybody's name.
Chandler Bing?
Shenandoah Bomb.
I remember
Shenandoah
Chandler. I didn't even
Bomb.
know that was his last name. Bing?
Yeah, Chandler Bing.
Okay.
Now you know.
All right. Well,
Now
now
you
I
know.
know. Now
Now you
everybody
know.
else knows.
Welcome to the 90s.
And then also kind of talking about Charger coaches. This was a bit of sad news. We found out that Marty Schottenheimer has been moved to hospice due to his Alzheimer's and just needs the consistent care. So our, thoughts and prayers go out to the Schottenheimer family. It's a shame that it's gone down this route for Schottenheimer. He was such a beloved coach for the Chargers, especially in that last season that we had him. So hopefully he, gets all the care and love and support that he can get over there at the hospice. Anyways, I guess now we'll look over to Coach's Corner and see what Kyle's got for us. Kyle, what do you got this week?
Follow up that one, buddy.
Yeah. Poor Marty.
Poor Marty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I wanted to do, everyone's kind of talking about how the Chiefs got slowed down in the Super Bowl, right? They didn't even score a touchdown. They put up 9 points. I don't remember the last time that has happened.
I don't think
Mahomes said
ever.
that's the worst beating he's ever gotten.
I think
Yeah.
the stat I saw was like Mahomes hasn't had a touchdownless game, I think, in his entire NFL career.
Yeah.
So not since
Crazy.
like college, maybe even high school, that he hasn't had a game where he didn't score a touchdown. So yeah, this was wild to
Delicious.
see that kind of a performance from the guy that they just signed for 10 years, $500 million for the
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs to have that kind of performance. Like, money well spent. Congrats.
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. So wanted to look at, like, everyone's talking about how you can't win. You can't win a Super Bowl. You can't win the whole thing without a prolific offense, right? That's what everyone's kind of saying. Like, you have to be able to score points. You have to be able to score points. Tampa Bay could have won the Super Bowl with 10 points. Like, clearly defenses still can win championships. It's like defense is outrageously important. And if you have an elite defense, you can beat any team. You don't have to be able to score 30 plus points. Everyone says, oh, to win the AFC West, you better stack up on offense and get new receivers. And you have to score 30 plus points a game to hang with the Chiefs. That's not always the case. An elite defense can still win you games a lot of times and can be very consistent. So I wanted to look at kind of the performance in the Super Bowl, what the Bucs did to stop the Chiefs. And I wish it was just one thing that was really easy to, like, hey, start doing this. Because no matter what you say, you have to execute it. I think one thing is you have to be healthy. They had all their starters out there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be healthy. The Chiefs were not. Their offensive line was banged up. That's been well discussed. The Buccaneers were very healthy. So you have to be healthy, especially going late into the season. How you do that, I don't know. I'm a Charger fan. I don't know how teams stay healthy. But that's vitally important that you stay healthy and you have your guys out there.
I don't know. I'm a Charger fan. So funny.
But so I watched the first half and I wanted to see, like, were they bringing a lot of pressure? Were they running just like crazy defensive scheme behind that somehow caught Mahomes off? And I don't think it was either of those things. I did not see very many blitzes. They weren't bringing 5-man pressures. And they were running some fun, like some cool, different defensive looks behind. But it's definitely not anything that he's never seen. But they were just executing at a really high rate. And the Chiefs, to be honest, kind of missed some opportunities when they could have taken advantage. For instance, like, everyone talks crap on cover 3. Yeah, we ran it too much, but the Bucs were running cover 3 kind of a lot. The only thing they did to add a little wrinkle is they snugged all their zones. So In cover 3, there's 4 underneath and 3 over the top defenders. So if you ever played Madden, you know how you see all those circles? There's 4 circles underneath, 3 circles deep. But instead of waiting for the receivers to get to 10 yards to decide if they're going to snug up on them, they moved all their zones down. So they were almost pressing all the underneath routes and saying, hey, you got to throw it over the top to the 3 deep, which is part of the biggest frustration in cover 3 is you give up so much underneath and allow them to kind of deke and dunk down the field. So they did that. I mean, I'm sure a team's done that before. They ran some cover 2 man. Cover 2 man is you basically have 2 deep safeties and then everyone's still man-to-man underneath. It's a great defense to run against the pass because everyone is covered underneath. You can go press all the receivers and running backs, and you still have 2 deep safeties to help you if you get beat over the top. So it's really hard to beat a cover 2 man against the pass. But what it does is it lightens up a lot of the box. You usually only have 5 guys in the box, tops. The box meaning tackle to tackle and linebacker to running back. That's what's considered the box. So in there's 6 gaps that the running back can run through. And in cover 2 man, you normally only have 5 guys in there. So there should, in essence, be an open gap. So it makes it difficult to defend the run, but you're really efficient against the pass. So how do you make those 2 things work? Here's what the Buccaneers did. That's the big secret behind their success to beating the Chiefs is their defensive line got pressure without having to blitz. If you can get, and we know that as Charger fans,
right?
That's
We
what
saw
Gus
that.
Bradley's philosophy is.
Yeah.
If you can get pressure with 4, you have so many options for what coverage, what disguising, what movement before pre-snap, what you can do with the 7 guys behind you, because you can run any coverage you want with 7 guys. So if you can get pressure in his face with 4, you can do whatever you want behind, and you can double a guy like Tyreek. Tyreek Hill had a safety over the top of him on every single play. If they were in cover 3, it didn't matter. The safety was still working over the top of Tyreek Hill. They did not allow, and that's what it is. If you can rush 4, you can, instead of blitzing a 5th, you can bracket a guy. You could double team a receiver.
Right.
Instead of blitzing that guy, you take him and move him. Now you can double team, have a guy underneath, have a guy over the top. So in essence, that's what the Bucs did. They said, we're not going to blitz you. We're just going to take away your favorite receiver. And so instead of having a backer blitzing, they had an extra DB to double up on Tyreek Hill. And that's what they did a lot of the game. They did some fun stuff. Like I saw some cool coverages where they started with like almost 3 deep safeties. It was a corner and the safety were all deep. And then they rolled 2 of them down right at the snap. So it looked like they were in like a deep, soft cover 3 or cover some kind of a split field coverage. And then they, right when the ball was snapped, 2 of the guys went down into the hole right in the middle of the field. And then it was basically a cover 3. But it looked like they were in this prevent type thing. So they did do some fun, cool stuff to keep Mahomes on his toes. But it all comes down to getting pressure with 4. If you can get pressure with 4 linemen / linebackers, whatever they are, 4 guys, you can be successful because you have 7 guys deep to defend the pass. So I think that's what they did. Above all else, they were able to get pressure with 4. And if you do that, no quarterback likes pressure. Justin Herbert's the best when faced with it, but nobody likes it. So I think that's what we need to do to beat the Chiefs too. We need to be able to get pressure with 4. So what that looks like in free agency and the draft, developing the guys we got. I think running that new change to our 3-4, you can still blitz and only bring 4, potentially still get some pressure in his face. I think that's what you have to do to beat Mahomes. You have to be able to get pressure with 4.
Thank you, Kyle, for breaking it down. Super Bowl, I mean, it's not necessarily a Charger game, but the Chiefs are part of the AFC West. We see them twice a year, so I'm sure Staley was watching and taking notes. He's just going, okay, yeah, we do that, and then okay, we do one of those. So
Yeah. Give me a few of those.
give me a few of those. So, all right, well, enough about the Super Bowl. Who do we got on deck for an interview here, Kev?
Yeah, so we're got a couple today. We're going to talk with Stephen Hagland, our part 2 of our
yes,
talk with him. Talk a little bit more about the Senior Bowl and who he saw. So let's go and say hi to Stephen at the from the Guilty as Charged podcast. All right, we're back with episode 2 with Stephen Hagland, who was able to check out some awesome breakdowns of the Senior Bowl and kind of give us his insight. Thanks for coming back on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do it. It's been a fun process to check out that film. And, we talked about offensive tackles last time. And I think, the Chargers are in a good spot in terms of, that position. And I think that there were some good pass rushers as well, which we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just jump in. Where the likelihood of us bringing back Ingram, doesn't look great with how much money he's owed and kind of where our defense is going. And you got a new defensive coach who's going to push us into a new scheme, a lot of new potential. We don't really know what's going to happen. So, getting to the quarterback is priority. What are your thoughts on some of the guys you saw at the Senior Bowl in terms of pass rushers?
Well, it's going to be really interesting to see what the Chargers do. Last time we talked about, what I would do is taking 2 offensive tackles in the first 2 rounds. But I could definitely see them going offensive tackle in the first round and getting a pass rusher in the second round, because, if you're doing a base 3-4, like you have a Uchenna Nwosu, I would be a little hesitant of making Joey Bosa a full-time outside linebacker. Obviously, Brandon Staley is going to mix things up, but I think they definitely will want to address an outside linebacker spot at some point in the draft, or maybe bring in Leonard Floyd. So I think that conversation starts with Miami's Quincy Roche and Oregon State's Hamilcar Rashed Jr. And so their Senior Bowl experiences were a little different. Quincy Roche played 4-3 defensive end in college, and that's what he did all week was spend time, fully on the edge. But he does have a little versatility there to play 3-4. That's what he did before he was at Miami. And then Hamilcar Rashed, he spent most of his time doing coverage drills. So he was 3-4 outside linebacker at Oregon State. He's very familiar with that kind of role. And I thought he did really well in coverage situations. I would have loved to see him rush the passer a little bit more. But it was pretty clear that he wanted to show he can do different things. And then Roche, man, like he's so fast and he's so just bendy off of the edge. He's got the perfect kind of style that you want in a 3-4 outside linebacker. I mentioned Leonard Floyd. I would just kind of rather draft the junior version of Leonard Floyd and not have to pay Leonard Floyd his salary. So I think those two, in terms of outside linebacker types, that's where the conversation has to start.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's going to be a huge thing for us. Like I said earlier, it's like trying to figure out what they're going to do with this 3-4 scheme, because it's definitely a different move from what we have now on our roster. And one of the things our coach brought up a couple episodes ago is the fact that, we're going to have to lean heavily on linebackers. We're not going to have so many big boys on the roster, which in a way is good. That helps our special teams. That helps a lot of the things that we're having troubles with in terms of covering kicks and being aggressive and flying around, playing, hit you in the mouth football. So what were some of the, in terms of the guys that were really physical, kind of a, but do you see anybody Perriman like anybody out on the field that kind of stood out to you that would be somebody good to have in the middle of that defense?
Yeah. Baron Browning, the linebacker from Ohio State, had a fantastic week. He did split a little. He did the Wednesday practice with the edge rushers, actually. So he did a little bit of both there. He's not super good in coverage, but his instincts in the run game are fantastic. And, you want to talk about a bully that someone's just going to come in and wreck people, like that's Browning out of Ohio State. And then KJ Britt out of Auburn, he's a very much like a traditional linebacker. He's not super adept in coverage, but, if you're talking about a Denzel Perryman replacement, that won't cost a lot. I think KJ Britt would be a really nice fit there. Again, really excellent instincts in the run game. I think he was a 3-year captain at Auburn, so he's got those leadership abilities that Tom Telesco loves. So I think KJ Britt would be a good fit for the Chargers in terms of maybe like a 4th, 5th round pick, because like I said, he's a little limited athletically and in coverage. But we all know Tom Telesco likes those guys with captain and leadership experience. So I think that would be an interesting fit.
Yeah. If you're a captain or you played at Notre Dame, you're probably going to be a Charger. So
yeah. And there were like 4 captains at Notre Dame at the Senior Bowl this week. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that will be for sure. So I'm hoping we're diverse and we pick up a lot of defensive players deeper too, as well, that can help on special teams, which has been such a point of contention for a lot of Charger fans and how bad we've been the last few few years. So, yeah, man. So, all right. So last one I have for you is like Hail Mary guy. What's a crazy kind of deep sleeper guy you saw at the Senior Bowl that you think would be like, damn, that'd be fun to have on our team?
Well, he wasn't like, I mean, he was good in coverage situations, but I mean, he was really good at the game on Saturday, and that's West Virginia's Tony Fields. So he's got a little bit of linebacker safety versatility, which is something that, we saw Brandon Staley have with John Johnson last year with the Rams, somebody that can come in and do both things. He's a little undersized to be like a full-time linebacker. He really reminded me so much of Adrian Phillips and somebody that could do a lot of different things,
Awesome.
play special teams. I want to say he had like 500 special teams reps at West Virginia. So I think that would be a good role for him. Very similar to Alohi Gilman, somebody that could do a lot of different things. And Alohi Gilman is fine. But you want to talk about depth, and we all love Derwin James, but we saw what happened without Derwin James the last 2 years. And I really think that whether that's bringing in a John Johnson or somebody else to fill in behind him, I'm not saying that they need to spend a second-round pick on a safety, but I do think that they have to address the depth behind Derwin James just in case James is not healthy. And I think Tony Fields would be a really interesting target there in the later rounds.
Awesome. All right, well, thank you so much for coming on and joining us. If you want to let everyone know how they can follow you and listen to you on your other podcasts, where you at? Yeah,
so you can find me on Twitter at Stephen I. Haglin. That's my personal account. And then our Twitter account for the podcast is at GAC Podcast 17. We are on YouTube as well, and you can find us on any podcast platform, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, whatever the case may be.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for your time. And it's awesome getting the podcast to cross over. So it was good.
Yeah. We did the YouTube mock interview process. And so I was happy to come on your guys' show and repay the favor.
That was fun, man. We appreciate it. And good luck, man. We'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Thanks.
Yeah. So it was awesome to, chat with Steven, and he has great access to a lot of the tape and get a little more insight on some of these guys that, it's just hard to predict and hard to look at all these guys and what they could do and what they could be for us. So we appreciate him doing some of that legwork and giving us some insight.
Big time. Thank you, Steven, for sharing that information. That's there's a lot of holes to be plugged. I feel we don't know what's going to happen with these free agency. Oh, you pipe down.
Dirty.
That was too much.
So it's good to know what options are out there. I mean, especially for people like myself, I don't watch a lot of college ball. So when you throw names out there, it's just like, I don't know, but at least now I can go like, oh yeah, I remember Steve. He mentioned that on our podcast. So thank you. Appreciate that. And this week, we think we have ourselves another twofer interview. Is that right, Kevin?
Yeah, we got another one. And this is kind of a fun announcement. We, unbeknownst to you, Adam Woldog Woolley, Kyle, the coach, Duggan, and myself have decided that we are going to be season ticket owners for the Chargers at SoFi.
Holy smokes.
The Charger Chat podcast now has 3 tickets to all of the Charger home games.
Are you serious?
Super serious.
Buddy. Anytime you can get out from Boise, we will be there.
Oh my God.
It's time to get some frequent flyer miles.
Yeah, buddy.
Game on. So,
whoa.
Yeah. So I wish you guys could see Willie's face right now.
It was like a lifelong goal of me. It's like when I become an adult, I want to buy a house and I want to be a season ticket holder for the Chargers. And the bucket list has been completed. Me and Kevin are officially season ticket holders for the Chargers.
Yeah, dude. So we're excited, and we were lucky.
COVID better get its shit under control.
That shit together.
Games.
So so we reached out to them, and we
this is crazy.
We chatted with Max. Max is a premium sales consultant. So the guy that helped us get our tickets, we're like, you know what, Max, let's get you on here, dude. Let's, like I said earlier, I'm tired of people talking shit about us not being able to be at the stadium. So anybody that's kind of on the fence, maybe wants to get season tickets, is interested, some of the questions that I had going into it, we were able to answer on this interview. So let's hop on over and chat with Max. All right, guys, I'm here with a very special guest. We very recently met, and he hooked us up with brand new, fresh out of the box season tickets for the Charger Chat podcast. So we're really excited to have Max. He's our premium sales consultant for the Chargers at SoFi Stadium. Thank you for coming on, Max.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin.
Awesome, man. So yeah, we just went through the process, and it was really easy and awesome talking to you and getting to know a little bit more about the season tickets, how to get them, what comes with them, how it all works. So we thought it'd be great to have you on. You can kind of explain kind of the ins and outs, and just kind of we learn a little bit more about how we can go about getting season tickets. So right off the bat, let's just tell us a little bit about, the fan experience and, what comes along with being a season ticket holder.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. And first off, thank you and all your viewers. It's always nice to kind of get on these things and just talk about the stadium. First and foremost, it's a $5 billion stadium. So right then and there, it kind of speaks for itself, right? It's the biggest project in sports history at this point. And as far as kind of in-game experience, there's essentially two levels, right? You have your premium and your club spaces and your suites, which will totally draw a different crowd as far as kind of that in-game experience, right? So everything from private lounges to curated food by private chefs, rights to other events in the stadium, such as concerts, potentially Super Bowl based on the level that you get into, VIP team events. So we talk a lot about kind of these events that we have on a one-off situation. Well, premium members have access to those events, whereas some others might not. We have some curated events on the field. So you're looking at a full encompassing VIP experience when you take a look at that. And then we have our kind of more pay-as-you-go option, right, which is a little bit more of your traditional season ticket option. However, given the circumstances of a $5 billion stadium, we like to compare some of our more general locations to what you would consider club level in other stadiums. So nonetheless, they'll still get access to a majority of these same amenities, whether that's concert events and things of that nature, but also team events that involve training camp. I know a bunch of your viewers probably have gone to that as well. And draft parties. I know we've had a couple. Obviously, this year has been a little bit unique in itself, but there's a bunch of different opportunities for folks to get in. And, tickets start at as low as, $50 a game on that reserve level. So there's awesome opportunities there as well.
That's awesome. And, I think a big thing that, some of the fans and some of the people we're talking to is like the SSL, like how that works and why that's needed and what that's all about. So can you tell us a little bit about the licensing for the seats?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one thing, the biggest misconception is like, do I have to pay it in full? That's always the number one question I get is like, hey, how do I pay for this thing, right? So first and foremost, I'll take a step back and just kind of illustrate what it is, right? So most stadiums that have done a reconstruction and or just completely built a new stadium, there's a way of subsidizing cost for ownership groups, which is essentially this PSL concept. And other revenues, it's a personal seat license, as I just referenced. However, ours is what's called a stadium seat license. So realistically, not much different. A couple big things. What it is essentially is your opportunity to purchase. It's a deposit that you must pay in order to purchase season tickets. And kind of how like when we explained it, Kevin, it's almost like when you rent an apartment, you put a security deposit down and then you still need to pay rent every month, right? So it's a similar concept. Now, what does it get you, right? So in that season ticket option, every seat license is the ownership stake to that seat for the next 47 years up until 2068. Now, most of my clients are usually going to say that they're going to be dead by that time. So what do they do in that circumstance? They can transfer this and sell this license similar to an asset that you would own. And you also don't have to pay this all up in front. We offer 3 different methods to pay for that, one of which is a 9-year finance option. So some of our more expensive options, we do understand that it's not hey, here's X amount right up front. And then through this license program is where you get the majority of the access to the other concerts and events. Because you're essentially an ownership stakeholder in the stadium, you'll get access to a majority of the events at a face value cost, which is a huge benefit for some of our major acts, knowing that this stadium is going to host anywhere from 30 to 40 other events outside of just Chargers football.
It's exciting. The idea of being, having the seats we just got until I'm 70. I'm looking forward to being an old man, yet rooting for my Chargers up in my seats. So I'm pumped for that.
I love that.
And one of the interesting things you were telling us about when we had our original meeting was that, the value of these could very easily go up much more than they are now, just with how the franchise is, how it's turning, the kind of players we have, a new coach, all this new thing. So, these tickets can be, an investment as much as it's just being able to go to games. So can you speak a little on that?
Yeah. So seat licenses in natural are going to fluctuate based on team performance, just like anything else in the market, right? If it's a hot product, people are going to pay more for it, vice versa as well, right? And I think what's unique about the time we're in right now is you have an opportunity to get in on the ground floor of something amazing where we're just now starting to kind of have that snowball effect, especially with Herbert, right? He's at the centerpiece of that, arguably the best rookie performance of any rookie ever as a quarterback. Obviously, you hear some bias in there, but realistically, the stats don't really shy from that. So some of the benefits of buying early and having that get-in price is 2-3 years down the road, we're a Super Bowl team and people won't have the access to purchase that. So you'll be the rightful owner and can dictate whatever price you're looking to sell that for. So on our low end, $100 licensing could be sold for $500 licensing. And even on our high end, which, tap out at $75K, you can resell that for more money, right? So it all depends on the market and the given situation and timing. But with Herbert at our forefront, I think there's a lot of positive opportunity there.
That's wonderful. Yeah. And tell us a little, because we got a little insight into like the amenities in the stadium and the kind of the everything we'll get by being at SoFi. And we're all so excited to go. Everyone thought we were going to go this year. It didn't happen. So give us a little taste of what that's going to be like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, first off, I got to hold some things tight. So I don't want you guys to get all the info before you guys get in there. But first and foremost, the outside district is kind of on a 5 to 10 year plan. But think of LA Live on steroids. Your massive outdoor boutique mall right outside of the stadium to start with, the NFL media building, who just moved from Culver City to our district, right around the corner on our district across the stadium. So that's just the outskirts of it in itself. It's going to be a 365 opportunity for folks to go in and enjoy and just kind of have some lunch or dinner with the stadium in the background, right? But then inside the stadium, there's a couple different things, right? The elephant in the room is that massive video board that I'm sure everybody wants to hear about. But it's not only just that. I mean, it's everything from the construction of it crashing like a wave to it's built more like a shot glass rather than a soup bowl. So even in our upper levels, you don't feel like you're super far from the field. You almost feel like you're on top of the players, which is a unique factor. On top of that, most levels, you'll walk in and have to walk down to your seats rather than up, which is a unique factor. Just having that kind of experience of waving to the people behind you and walking down to your seats, right?
Sure.
And on top of that, there's always just the in-game experience, right? The dual-sided video board with the private lounges in the certain levels, right? We have everything from a whiskey bar to a champagne bar to a taco stand, right? You're going to have everything you can think of in these private lounges and curated chefs that have already put a menu together that are unique to Los Angeles, right? We always talk about having a unique stadium that's LA bred and LA born. And it's really encompassed in these private lounges and these special areas. So it's an exciting time. And again, I don't want to leave out too much information so you guys aren't shocked when you get in there. But there's a lot of opportunities for you guys to experience, almost like a different game day every time you go.
Yeah, we're so thrilled and excited. We're just beyond pumped to get in there. So, all right, well, let's just finish it up with like how do we go about, if somebody's listening to this and is interested and wants to learn more or speak to you more specifically, like how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think given in the world we're living in right now, we're all working from home and it's almost a virtual setting. So in order to purchase season tickets, you do have to connect with a representative, whether it's myself or someone you've already been in contact with in the past. And you can set up a virtual tour, which will essentially illustrate everything I showed you beforehand, Kevin, but essentially a walkthrough of the stadium through a Channel 1 opportunity, which is essentially just sharing a computer screen and me walking you through it.
It was pretty sweet. It was pretty awesome.
I appreciate that. And it's exciting. So nonetheless, you can reach out to me. My name is Max. You can follow up at mlevy, which is Levey at lazed.com, which is LA Stadium and Entertainment District. So that's mlevy at LASED.com. And if you already are in touch with a representative and can't get a hold of them, feel free to reach out to me and I'll put you in the right contact.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know there's so much excitement. People love to have this information and, see what they can do about becoming a season ticket holder. So thank you so much for your time, man.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I will say is don't shy away if you guys ever have any questions. A lot of us have been here since the beginning, since 2017. So we haven't had a question that we can't answer. So I'm sure no matter what, we'll be able to fulfill some type of need for you guys.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much.
Thank you. We got season tickets. We got season tickets.
My jaw is still on the floor,
tickets.
man. I gotta pick it up here. I can't believe that we got season tickets. That's crazy.
Of course, we got 3 because there's 3. This is a 3-man show.
This is a 3-headed beast. So wow,
it's a threesome, if you will.
If you will.
That's crazy.
Kevin, with all the sexual and
I apologize, guys. My bad.
Pent up there in the Missouri house. You got snowed in around your wife too much.
Back off.
Wow.
But yeah, it was awesome. You know, if you reach out to Max, if you just want to, you know, if you do decide to go down this route and you want to come be a part of it, they're like, let's just fill this bad boy up. You know, just let Max know you heard about him on the Charger chat. Yeah, so go hit him up. Let's get everybody in there. It's exciting.
100%. That was great. Thanks, Max, for explaining it for everybody.
It was also exciting to hear, like, when we were on the call with him, he's like, oh shoot, all those tickets are gone. Oh wait, this whole section is sold out. I'm like, all right. Yeah. Sounded like season tickets are starting to go pretty quick here.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're talking to Karen, like they got the Die Hard Bolt Club down in one specific section. Like you kind of can feel where everyone's going to be and what everything's going to be like. So it's exciting, dude. I can't wait to get in there.
Oh my God. Just to be with other Charger fans in the stadium, the brand spanking new stadium. It's going to be a dream come true when it actually happens. I can't believe it. God, that's crazy. All right. Sorry, you guys have had a chance to soak this in. I'm just now hearing about this. This is too exciting. But thank you, Max. Really appreciate it. And next we move on to a fan focus. Who do we have this week, Kev?
Yeah, so the Chargers sent a couple people to the Super Bowl, and we got in to talk with Josh, who is at Go LA Bolts, and he went there to represent us, and I caught him right after the game was over. He got back to his hotel, so it was very fresh, and it was fun talking to him, get a little insight into what it was like being at a Super Bowl that the Chargers weren't playing in. So
very cool.
Let's go chat with Josh.
Let's do it.
All right, guys, we are very lucky. This is a very unique interview because we have somebody that just went to the Super Bowl. So this is amazing. So we got Go LA Bolts on Twitter, Dan Feeney, MVP. Josh, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, man.
Happy to.
All right, so tell us, like, how did you get to the Super Bowl? That's insane.
By a flight. No, I'm just kidding. Since the pandemic, I've been heavily involved getting people to get into the vaccine trials. I got about 300 people into the Pfizer trial, the Moderna trial, the Novavax trial. And it's important to get these people in so that they could prove the vaccine works so the vaccine could get out to people.
Nice.
Through my work, not really through my Twitter account, but through my friends of friends, the Chargers found out that, hey, this guy was getting a bunch of people vaccinated. The Chargers vaguely knew who I was. And so it appears that the NFL told everybody at the last minute, hey, find healthcare workers. And the Chargers like, we know a vaccinated healthcare worker. And they called me up and I was invited. And the funny thing is, like, right after I got invited, I got another call from Die Hard Bolt Clubs. And they're like, hey, can you make it? I'm like, yes, I'm already going.
No, I love it, man. And thank you so much for going out there representing us. And the Chiefs just lost the Super Bowl. So what was it like being at the game?
You know, I mean, I was there with 2 other Charger fans, and it was great because we were like, okay, we're going to be Buc fans. And we were like high-fiving everybody. You know, we were booing Patrick Mahomes. And so, you know, it was nice to be there and be like, hey, I don't care who wins. You know, if Patrick Mahomes wins, I'm like, oh, that sucks. Oh, well. But, you know, if Tom Brady wins, it's like, oh, that sucks. Oh, well. But, you know, it was fun. We were Bucs fans. Everybody liked us. I kept yelling out Chargers at everything. And, you know, everybody's... and I was harassing Miami fans. I was thanking them for drafting Tua. So the night before, I was by myself. I know Sean, who used to run 5 North Bolt. He moved out here to Tampa Bay. So nice. I was walking across the main festival area of Tampa Bay to get to where Sean lived. So I had about a 1.5 mile walk through crowds. And then, you know, there's a lot of Tampa Bay jerseys. There's a lot of Chiefs jerseys. Then there was random jerseys. I'm like, oh, this is too good to pass up. And I'm like, if I find a Dolphins fan, the first one I found was a 13-year-old kid. I was not going to like mess with him. Then I saw a guy who from behind, I'm like, oh, this is great. And I just walked up to him and said, hey, I just wanted to say, as a Chargers fan, we want to thank you guys for drafting Tua. We are so thankful for you guys for doing this for us. You know, we couldn't be more grateful. Wish you the best of luck. And then everybody's like, they're like, oh, Herbert, rookie of the year. So
I'm sure you did. Like the clout, I'm sure you walked into that stadium a little like McGregor style, like coming in like rookie of the year style, it's amazing.
I mean, it's kind of nice to have a player that everybody knows.
Yeah.
It's like, there's not a single person in that stadium. He sees a blue tent and is like, Justin Herbert, amazing. And so, it's great that everybody like recognized it. So it kind of gave me, as you said, clout. I could go talk to trash to people and they're like,
totally.
Oh, Justin Herbert, rookie of the year,
Yeah.
So I went up to the Bengals healthcare workers. And I'm like, I just want to sit with the table of the other team that drafted a good quarterback last year. And we all took pictures together and they were dying laughing because they knew I was talking about Tua.
Oh,
and, it's tons of fun. I had a blast.
Totally, man. Well, honestly, thank you so much for representing us. We're so excited that we get to talk to you immediately following the game and the fact that the Chiefs lost and Chargers have the rookie of the year and we're moving on to a new season. So it's exciting.
And it's going to be at SoFi next year. Even if I don't go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to go to the experiences. It was tons of fun to just go. It's kind of like going to the London game was tons of fun to be a Chargers fan because there's all the London people. They're like every team out there. So, it's kind of fun to be a Chargers fan going to a game that's not a Chargers game. So
totally.
But it was great. I could not thank the Chargers more. I'm thrilled that I was able to go and, it was an experience of a lifetime. And, I'll remember it forever.
All right, Josh, thank you so much for taking the time, man. It was so nice to hear your experience and all about being a Charger at the Super Bowl. And it was just so fun. So thank you, man.
Happy to. Have a good day.
You too.
Wow. Energy was palpable.
Yeah, dude. Fresh off coming out from a game. You just got a different vibe about it, So I was excited. I randomly hit him up on Twitter. It's like, you want to come on the podcast? He's like, can we do it in 5 minutes? I'm like,
can we do it in 5 minutes?
I was like, let's go. So we did it, and it was fun. Got to meet it. I'm rubbing off on you. That's what she said.
You guys are clearly brothers.
Yeah, it was great. It was great having him.
And the answer is yes. Yes, we can.
Yes.
5 minutes is more than enough.
5 minutes in heaven is better than no minutes in heaven. Am I right?
Am I right? Am I right? High five. High five. Everybody high five.
Yeah. So thanks for chatting with us, Josh. It was cool, man. And live vicariously through your excitement.
And let's go to SoFi next year. Please.
Yes, let's do it.
Please. We've got the tickets now. Please. Let us do this. So thank you, Josh. And now we go over to our lone soundbite. And I'll give you a guess to try to figure out who it is, but I think y'all know who it is. It's Craig from Texas.
Fellas, it's your boy Craig in Texas. And that was one crapper of a Super Bowl. I mean, I had no real dog in that fight. There was really no way I was going to be rooting for Tom Brady, as that guy's given us more than our fair share of trauma throughout the years. And then on the other side of the ledger, there were the Chiefs. So enough said, right? But there are some things that can be learned from the game. Apparently, defense does win championships. So maybe we ended up with the right guy for the job in Staley. And then on top of that, it's all about trench warfare. Got to have quality depth on both sides of the ball, both lines, but specifically on your offensive line. And the Chiefs learned that lesson the hard way. And if you've got a hellacious front four on defense, then you can do some real damage. Moving right along, though, to our boy Jay Herbo, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Was there really any doubt? I mean, besides the idiots over at PFF, the Maddings ratings, and some other really dumb talking heads, I mean, everybody could see it. So the right guy got the award, and they're going to have to eat some crow at some point. Anyway, you guys let me know what you took from yesterday's game and what you think is applicable to the team moving forward. Always looking forward to hear what you got. And hey, Stellan, hope you gave him hell at school today, my man. Anyway, ball gang or don't bang. Okay, love you, bye.
Craig, you're the man.
Dude, I swear I didn't listen to this before we recorded the first part of the episode. Me and Craig are just in sync.
You guys are in sync.
We've synced up finally.
I think we got to get an episode where you guys can talk together in person. I think it'll be good. But yeah, Stellan was very pumped. We were working on his walk-in, his McGregor walk-in with his shoulders, and it's he's pretty pumped on that. But
gotta get
oh
that
no, but
swagger.
school got canceled tomorrow.
That's all right. It can wait a day.
He doesn't go get
more
to
time.
confront these.
He gets to
so
rub it in just one more day later.
It's like 5 degrees here, and like the weather sucks, so they canceled school. But one more day of practice, and we'll rewatch the Super. I'll make him rewatch the Super Bowl, so it's fresh.
So good.
But yeah, so I think we just came up with the episode title.
Dumb Talking Heads.
Dumb Talking Heads. Clutch. Thanks. We usually we spend about 10 minutes after the podcast is over to figure out the title. And thank you, Craig. You saved us some time. Dumb Talking Heads.
Nothing but dumb talking heads. Anybody that doesn't think Herbert deserves Offensive Rookie of the Year, you're out of your dumb talking head mind. But I think, yeah, in this Super Bowl, it was tough to pick a side to choose, but I'm just so glad that the Chiefs lost, not just because they were the Chiefs, but it was like Mahomes has been too good. Like, he needed to show that he was human, like that he can fail. He can have a game where he doesn't score a touchdown. And so that, to me, was like the biggest takeaway from that game, is just like, these guys are beatable. Like, they've been beaten before and got beat on the main stage in the Super Bowl. So that was my big takeaway from that game. So thank you, Craig. Always good to hear from you. Oh, you always put a smile on all our faces. We appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Craig.
And now we look over to Ask Twitter, and we start off this one with Ross Morrow, an old favorite, Ross Morrow, who asked the question: what are some non-offensive linemen that the Chargers should target in rounds 2 through 4?
That's hard.
Let me stroke my beard.
I'm just gonna be. Let me check here. I'm just gonna be real honest with you, Ross. I don't study 3rd and 4th round picks. Like, normally on the day of, like, whoever the Chargers pick, I'm scrambling to like watch highlight tapes, because these guys, like, I just don't know enough about to say I'm an expert on them. So I'm not going to be the guy that sits here and lies to you and steals another guy's mock draft to say, oh, I really hope we get this guy in the 3rd or 4th round. I just don't, like, honestly, I don't know enough about 3rd and 4th round picks. I will, though, give you positions that I hope we address in the 2nd through 4th. So 1st round, we all are anticipating an offensive lineman to go off the board.
Better be.
Yeah, Adam's got some very strong takes.
You son of a fish. I almost like it.
But we all know the other positions of need, right? We need to address pass rush because Melvin Ingram's leaving. We need to address cornerback in case Mike Davis leaves. And we need to address, and the other position that we need to address is, like, I think we could pick up another interior offensive lineman. We need a guard/center, and you can get a really, really good one in the 3rd round. Or if you're bold enough, the 2nd round. So I think that's what I think those are the biggest team needs. So that's what I'm hoping we address. I'm sorry I'm not more specific. There's just so much still to go. I think once we get to like a couple weeks out and free agency is opened up and things have settled, we'll be able to look at more specific names of players and what they did in college. Right now, to think about picking a guy that I would like to see us draft, it's just throwing something out there for you. I just don't know. We haven't narrowed down enough to see who we're or do we need a tight end? Is Hunter Henry coming back? Because if he's not,
you better
maybe
get on that
we
shit
go
quick.
high and go tight end.
Hits.
So there's just so much still to be settled with our current team before we look at what we're going to address in the draft.
Brutal honesty from the
Brutal
Charger Chat
honesty.
podcast.
That's right. When you get nothing but that from us, Ross. So thank you for asking the question.
Shameless positivity and
brutally honest.
Shamelessly brutal.
All right. Next, we move on to Super Bolts 34, aka Super Bolts 28, who asked the question. In our eyes, our beloved Chargers are Super Bowl contenders every year. But being realistic, how far you think our Bolts could go this coming season? Bolt up. Okay. Love you. Bye.
To the fucking house.
Absolutely.
Super Bowl 34. I think
like a true Charger.
we're a playoff team no matter what, in my opinion. I think that's where the bar is. And then whatever is on top of that with Staley's first year is going to be great. And even is cherry, whipped cream and cherry. I just want us to be a perennial playoff team that's always competing and is always in the game and is not, destroying ourselves and giving up games unnecessarily. And that's what I'm looking to see the big change in this year. So I think realistically playoffs, but Super Bowl, man.
Come on.
Super Bowl. Shamelessly positive.
I am so hyped for this next season. If Tampa Bay can play their Super Bowl at home, I don't see why the Chargers can't play their Super Bowl at home. So, yeah.
Oh, what was it? The Chargers-Rams Super
my
Bowl
God.
at SoFi. Yeah, I think here's what's hard. The Bucs went from crap to really good because of free agency. Because they had a lot of money to spend because the cap continues to go up. This is the first year it's ever gone down. It's going to make it difficult for big, huge splash moves like the Bucs did. I don't think there's going to be a huge, I don't know. No, I don't know. There's going to be a huge shakeup throughout the whole league because of all these quarterbacks being whiny babies and wanting to go to different places. Right. So it's going to change up. I think you have a rookie quarterback, you got to take advantage, or on a rookie contract quarterback. Right. We have to take advantage of now. So I think the expectation for the next 4 years is Super Bowl. Because now it's kind of our prime. Not that it can't happen later too, but right now is our prime to go do it. So hopefully we make some bold moves and make it happen.
Yeah, I think we've got a talented roster. We've got fresh coaches that are coming in to give a completely different look to this team. So we don't really know what to expect, but as far as I'm concerned, I expect nothing but the best, which is Super Bowl. So let's make that happen. But thank you, Super Bolts. Always good to hear from you. Next, we've got Tyler Foffey. You know him, you love him. He's the Iowa Bolt fan 54, and he asks the question: 2020 season is officially over, and 2021 is beginning. How hyped are you guys for the potential this team has?
2021.
2021.
I'm very
2021.
Honestly, the thing I'm most excited about is Derwin James being back. Yeah. I just cannot wait to see him play football. Regardless of anything, like Justin Herbert, obviously it's fun to watch. And we got to see him live, and that was awesome. But man, a whole season without Derwin James just sucked so hard.
Almost 2 seasons. We got a little bit of a glimpse of him at the end of the season prior to this last one. But there's been a Derwin James drought for sure that needs to be taken care of.
We're thirsty.
We are thirsty for the D. So let's.
There's another title for the episode.
Oh man, you walked into that one. Holy shit!
Don't let us down, Derwin, please. We're thirsty.
You just can't stop everything you said. Oh God.
Anyway, Tony Salazar at Tony Sal.
Hey.
Kyle's taking over.
Oh God. All right. Everybody calm down.
We're extremely excited, Foffy. We can't wait.
Oh God.
All right. Next, we've got Tony Salazar, who asked the question: who's the top prospect in the draft for the Chargers in y'all's eyes?
In your eyes.
In y'all's eyes.
In your eyes, I see Penei Sewell. I don't know if we'll get him. Don't know if we'll get him. Maybe.
Yeah. If you're asking for the top prospect in the whole draft for the Chargers roster and what we need, it has to be Sewell.
Yeah.
He's the plug and play future left tackle that we all want. Will we get him? It's going to take some Tommy T magic.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
But that's the top prospect.
Some of the more recent mock drafts I've been seeing is him falling. I don't think he'll fall all the way to 13, but he might fall enough that the Chargers might be able to, do some Tommy T magic and, give away some other extra something. To move us up just a couple spots to get Penei, which if that were to happen, that would be wild, because that was the expectation as we were losing, near the end of the season, was like, okay, we're going to get Sewell. It's going to happen. But then we started winning, and now I was like, well, I guess that boat's come and gone. But I don't know. Now I'm seeing that Sewell's fallen a couple notches. So we'll just have to wait and see.
I think it's going to be, he hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah.
Right. He opted out of this whole college football season. So he didn't play at all this year. So it's always who's hot right now.
That's true.
That's what always happens with the draft.
True.
Whoever does good at the combine skyrockets. Whoever gets Senior Bowl skyrockets. I think his pro day at Oregon, if they have it, it's going to be after that. We're going to see. I think his stock is going to go back up. after he puts up numbers.
Maybe he doesn't have a great
see him run drills.
pro day. Maybe our boy Jay Herbert can give him a call. Be like, bro, pro day.
Suck it up.
Don't be great.
Yeah.
Just don't be fucking great, okay? And then I know a guy
good.
that needs a lineman, and I'll talk to Tommy T, and we'll get you in here. Penne.
Offer him a couple briskets.
Yeah,
there you go. A couple briskets. Yes.
You hungry, Penne?
That would be delicious. So that's our top prospect. Thank you, Tony, for asking the question. Next, we move over to Anchovies21, who asked the question.
How great was it seeing the Chiefs fall apart in the Super Bowl? Does Staley take what he's seen the offense and defense of the Bucs do and implement his own version to stop the Chiefs each year? Do it now.
Yeah, he's going to get Tom Brady and Ndamukong Suh. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the goal. Like, obviously, yeah, you want to do like what their game plan and what they executed. That's what everyone's hope is. And I'm sure, obviously, Staley was watching the game, and that's one of 100 tapes he'll watch this offseason about the Chiefs. But yeah, that's what you got to do. You got to get pressure with 4. Any great quarterback, that's always the truth. You beat Tom Brady, you want to beat Peyton Manning all the way back. You want to beat Drew Brees, you got to get pressure with 4 so you can sit 7 back, or else they're going to pick you apart. And it's going to be true of Justin Herbert next year. People tried to bring blitzes, and it didn't work. They're going to now go to bring 4, disguise their coverage, and hope that he panics and throws picks. So that's just the recipe for good football.
Well, they're going to be sadly disappointed.
Yeah.
So sad.
It's going to be so sad for those teams. All right. Thank you, Anchovies. Next, we move on to Chimney Crickets.
Thank you, Anchovies. We're going off the rails.
That was your...
Sorry.
That was your okie doggy. Next we've got
thanks, Mr. Anchovies.
All right. Next we've got Chimney Crickets, who asked the question. After the complete shutdown of the Chiefs offense in the Super Bowl, I'm personally feeling even better about getting Staley over the Bills. Sorry, Craig, and Chiefs OCs. Your thoughts?
Yo, dude. Craig got
yeah, Craig, you get name dropped now and Ask Twitter.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, same thing. I think it's definitely glad we got him in terms of what he was able to do with the defense last year, the Rams. And the more you see it, the more we're getting comfortable with it, and we kind of get to research him a little more and find out a little bit more about him. It just gets even more exciting, what we're going to be able to do. And like everyone says, the AFC West is right now the Chiefs, so we got to find a way to beat them. And I think after seeing how Tampa Bay did that to them in the Super Bowl, we're fully capable. You just got to get the right pieces and get the right scheme. So I think it'll be good.
Big time. I mean, I can't stress enough. I don't watch tape of any players. I don't watch tape of coaches. If you ask me who was better than who, I'd be like, I don't know. So I was with everybody else when it was like Dable. But now that we have Staley, and now that we've had a chance to like get to know him and his plans and his schemes and what he does, it's like I couldn't be more excited for a coach. Like, honestly, I couldn't think of any other coach out there that I'd be like, yeah, I would rather him over Staley. Like, Staley, to me, as far as I'm concerned, is the top choice, and we got him.
Can I confess that when I don't have anything to, like, I'm working on my computer, I need something in the background, I just put on that 90-minute presser. It just gets me fired up.
So good.
He's so, like, literally I could listen to him for 90 minutes. So if you're a player in a meeting room, like, I'm down. I'm excited.
Awesome. Thank you, Chimney Crickets. Next, we've got, it's Simon. Oh, shit. I should have done Arnold for Simon.
Double down, but extra Arnoldy.
Okay. All right. Well, here comes. All right. Here we go. Simon Shum. I didn't even see your name on the list. I didn't know you were on the list. All right. Simon Shum. Here we go.
He's getting extra.
Yeah. With Joe Barry now leaving for the Packers, do you guys consider this as a big loss to our defense? Do you?
Oh yeah. Honestly, you don't know what you got till it's gone, and I didn't know what we had with Joe Barry because he wasn't here very long. So I don't. I don't know.
Obviously, he was good enough to be a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, so it would have been amazing to have.
So it would have
him.
been awesome to have him. Yeah,
exactly. So it's a huge. I think it's the biggest bummer so far this offseason.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Staley will find some 29 to 35-year-old that's a wunderkind.
I think Joe Barry was our only coach over 30 years old.
I know that,
too.
dude. The average is like 35 now.
Oh wow.
30. So much for the AARP membership.
Yeah, there it goes.
Damn it, Joe.
There goes our early bird special.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Simon. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. All right. Next, we've got Gnarly Ray Jepson. Oh, he's one of my favorites. Asking the question.
Good God! Telesco has been known to take the best available player over team needs. Sometimes. If he did this again and decided to not go OT first round, would you be upset if he picked someone like Sertain or Fairley or Pitts in the draft? Hallelujah!
Yeah, I'd be pissed. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God.
Are you out of your mind?
Just to show you how the dinner is made, I text everybody the Ask Twitters, and usually it's like, okay, cool, we'll review them. And Adam responded, no, absolutely fucking not.
Capital
like, okay,
N, capital O. You can't. Okay. The biggest concern with the Chargers when we had Phillip Rivers was get him a line. Protect this man. He is not mobile. He needs to be protected. Now that we have Herbert on his, as we've stated before, his rookie contract, you have got to invest on the line to protect this kid. And if you can do that with a rookie contract on a good offensive lineman, why would you not do that? There are more than one person. Penny would be great, but there are other offensive linemen available that should fall to us if we don't make the jump for Sewell, that we absolutely have got to draft an offensive tackle. Like, I understand, like, if we don't have Hunter Henry, then that changes the game to possibly look at Pitts. But no, like, it you have to give this guy a line. And we just saw it in the Super Bowl. We saw how imperative it was to have a good offensive line, not one that just totally crumbles every single time. I mean, Justin can perform well with that, but that shouldn't be every, game that we play, that it should always crumble around him. Like, if we want him to be successful, we have to invest in an offensive line.
We've seen what he's like when he doesn't have a lot of protection. What could he be like with some elite protection? That's
exactly.
Well, what if? Well, I think what's going around a lot is this idea that we're going to get Orlando Brown Jr. from the Ravens.
I've heard that.
That's like a big rumor. So if that were to happen and you solidify your left tackle for the next, and he's young still, he's not a vet that's going to be done in the next couple of years. He's not bringing in a Trey Turner or a Brian Bulaga, like seasoned, potentially injured pretty quick. What if you bring in a guy like that and all your top tackles, for whatever reason, go early? They go before you, and you're looking at a reach at tackle or the top corner in the draft. And then you end up, and then you go lineman, second, third round. Would that a situation that you'd still be upset about?
So my frustration comes from not knowing what's going to happen this offseason. We don't know who's coming and who's going. So we need to, first of all, get that figured out. But I have a hard time making that in my head. I mean, obviously, yes, if for whatever reason, if all of those offensive tackles are gone, but for all intents and purposes, that really just should not be the case. Given the other teams that are before us.
Yeah, there's like 5 quarterbacks that are going to go, that are like
right. Yeah, there's a lot of quarterback needs
projected to go before us.
Exactly. So I see that going that way. So if any of the touted linemen are available when it comes to our turn to pick, and we don't do that, I'm going to break something. I don't know what is. I'm gonna grab a dish. It's gonna be my least favorite one, but I'm gonna break it.
Your cat's better hide.
Oh my God.
I think the thing that I'm kind of interested to see, like you said, is what we do in free agency. I think that's huge, because that'll determine, and we need more than one tackle. Like, clearly, for whatever reason, like Kyle said earlier, we don't know what it's like to have a healthy team because we're Chargers. It's just a fact. We need crazy depth on the offensive line.
Yeah.
I'm more okay with bringing in some non-elite flashing college players in like wide receiver position, because you've seen what Herbert's capable of doing without, you know, extremely amazing top tier, you know, coming out of college guys. Offensive line, like they need to pick up at least 2 or 3 offensive linemen in this draft.
Right.
Wherever it happens, it needs to happen. And a couple of those need to happen early.
Right.
So it's exciting to see what they're going to do in the offseason, but also they need to target some, like, you got to get some linemen, man. I'm tired of saying it year after year.
We all are. It has to happen. And you're 100% right, Kev. Wide receiver is not where we are failing. We proved that with Justin and a bad line. If we can get a good line, I think the sky's the limit for Justin. If we can get somebody that can protect him and give him the opportunity to make bigger plays, possibly make more run plays, it's all in that talented line. So better not pick. Oh God. I'm so
He's getting worked up. I love it.
I don't want to get too upset. It hasn't even happened yet. We still got 2 more months until we have a draft. This is going to be painful. All right. But thank you, Gnarly Ray, for sparking that conversation. Appreciate it. Next, it's one of our old favorites. It's Karen who asked the question.
Would it be possible for Stellan to have his own segment on future podcasts? It would be fantastic. Your little boy. He should be on the podcast.
Scary. He's already talking about it. He's like, I'm famous on YouTube. I'm like,
you are
kinda.
so famous.
Super famous. I think people like our podcast are not going to be talking about Spider-Man and Spiders.
Oh my God.
We'll
I'll
bring
never
him back
get over
on.
that. That's
He's
too
so
damn
funny.
We'll get him back on, Karen. I promise.
I got to try to get
We'll
Paxton
him
on here soon too.
But yeah, they should. Dude,
Oh,
what if we
they
did,
should
like, a
interview
mini
each
version of the
other.
Chargers?
Oh
Do it.
man.
The kind of
Wow, that would be a
content we
shit
would
show.
get,
That would
guys.
be great.
Oh man. I would love to hear that.
We'll see. We're gonna have some off season to fill, so
we're
throwing everything we got
interviewing Paxton for an episode.
Yeah, get ready for that, folks. It's we're penciling it in
We'll
right
have
now.
them talk about drafts 2 through 4. They'll have better insight than us.
They'll drop some names for you guys. They'll look up some mock drafts and steal some names for you.
Steal some shit for you.
Hammer car?
Like, Stellan, what did you send me, dude? Who's Hamilcar?
And he hits on everyone.
I would love to hear these guys pronounce some of these players' names. That would be amazing. All right. Thank you, Karen. Always good to hear from you. Next, we've got Bobby Calderon, who asked the question.
Whether it be a trade or free agent signing / re-signing, what would you like to see the Chargers make first this offseason?
Hunter Henry. Hunter
Yeah,
Henry.
I
Hunter
think we
Henry.
all want to see
right
Hunter
now.
Henry get signed.
Do it. Get it done. Get it done to let's go. We need Hunter Henry back. Jesus.
I think it's an interesting question as far as because there is that talk of Orlando Brown possibly getting traded, which would be huge news if we were to pick him up. And if it's a trade, to find out who we're giving away. I mean,
but the thing is, it's like you're looking at like the tier of player. You know, there's a lot of tackles that we could have access to either the draft or that. There's not a lot of tight ends in the draft available. There's not a lot of free agent tight ends that you're like, oh, I gotta
have
get my
that
hands
Hunter
on
Henry.
that one.
Yeah.
Gotta have that. Hunter Henry is the top tier tight end right now, and we need to resign him. We need to keep that passing attack the way it is.
And
right
he had
now.
the best season of his career with a rookie quarterback.
Exactly. Like
they have a
the
chemistry
chemistry's
already.
building,
Mm.
and he's one of the top guys. Like everyone kind of sleeps on him a little bit because he's had some injuries and he's in the same division as Kelsey, and no one will shut up about him. Give him an off season with Herbert, and we'll see what happens. I think that's the biggest priority for me right now is to lock him down. He's the most for sure thing, I guess, even though he's had some injuries, but like just in terms of the tiers of where things are landing and what's available, that's what I want to see right now.
Right.
Personally.
His productivity when he is healthy is incomparable to the rest of the names that are floating around out there.
Exactly. He could block, he can catch.
He can do it all.
Maybe he's not being utilized the best he can. So let's see what they can do with him.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you, Bobby. Good to hear from you. Next, we've got Daniel Llewellyn, who asks a fantastic question. Here you go.
Can you please explain
what the shift to a base 3-4 Eagle, Hawk, Falcon, Pigeon, Seagull front means versus a conventional 3-4? Also, do the chickens have large talons? Give me your taunts.
Kyle, why don't you take that
Eagle,
one?
Hawk, Falcon,
Eagle,
Pigeon,
Hawk, Falcon,
Seagull
Pigeon,
front.
Seagull
Love it.
front.
I have some strong thoughts on this, Daniel. I don't know why it bugs me so much when I feel like, okay, so I was a defensive coordinator, and like sometimes terminology gets thrown out and you're like, I wonder what that means. And you look it up and you're like, that doesn't mean anything. Like that's just the tiny, it's like you went to the trouble of renaming this defense for this tiny little tweak that you think is a game-changing difference. It's like everyone wants to have their like copyrighted term in football that starts to get widespread. It's like there's some things, like I was talking to a coaching staff that I've been working with recently here in San Diego, and they're like, do you know why they call the outside shade on the tight end a 9 instead of a 7? I'm like, I don't know. Somebody decided, and we all decided to go along with it. It's like that's like this type of stuff. It's like you're gonna just like cover 8, cover 6, cover 9, whatever you want to call it. It's just they're all variations of one thing, and there's slight variations. So if you're looking at a big scheme of our defense, overall structure, 3-4 is the structure. That means there's 3 defensive linemen and 4 linebackers. That's all we need to know.
I just keep looking at Eagle, Hawk, Falcon, Pigeon, Seagull front. I just can't stop
Pigeon,
laughing.
Seagull.
That's funny. Sure.
It's so true. Everyone keeps throwing around, Steely's 3-4 Eagle. It's going to be revolutionary.
3-4 Hummingbird.
It's just the idea of tapping that eagle on there, just it tags a certain player that you bring on and take off a defensive lineman. But when you watch the football game as a fan, it's gonna look like a 3-4.
Dude, I got an idea. I got an idea for a name. We can make it our own.
Okay.
Because Joey Bosa is gonna be like the target of the D line. What about the 3-4 Mafia, bro?
Oh,
new defensive name
Mafia.
for our 3-4.
No,
the 3-4
no
Mafia.
birds in this
you're
one.
Listening.
Caca, no way.
You're listening. There you go.
Yeah.
It's free of charge.
3-4 Mafia. We just made our own defensive system. You're welcome.
Look at that. You got another title for our episode.
The 3-4 Mafia.
Banging them out now.
Yeah, shit. We're wasting all our good shit on this one episode. Damn it.
Well, that was a fantastic question to go out on.
Yeah,
that was an
thank
awesome
you, Daniel.
question.
That was
Thank
so
you.
rad.
Thank you, Daniel.
Eagle, Hawk, Falcon, Pigeon, Seagull,
Chicken, turkey, gobble gobble. All right. Thank you as to Daniel, and as always, thank you to everybody that reached out to us on Ask Twitter. This makes the episode always so much more fun, interacting with you guys, answering your questions to the best of our abilities. We don't always have the answers, but we at least try to have a fun and shamelessly positive good time. So thank you again, and thank you to everybody that came to interview with Kevin. This was a heck of a episode, learning about us getting season tickets. Good Lord, we're going to a Charger game.
It's going down. I'm gonna try and at least make half. That's my goal, is to make half.
Yeah, I will be at all.
You will be at every single one representing. Everybody can look out for Kyle the Coach Duggan. All right, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat this week, folks. Thanks for sticking around with us. Don't forget to bolt up, because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Pigeon, Eagle, Hawk, Falcon, Pigeon, Seagull.
Tina,
Pigeon,
you fat lard, come
Seagull
get your
Hawk.
dinner. Hey guys, Wolldog here. Normally this is where you'd hear about our awesome sponsors, but this week we just need to do something a little different. We typically record these episodes on Monday night and then get them out to you on Tuesday. We mentioned that previous Chargers coach Marty Schottenheimer was moved to hospice care after battling Alzheimer's since 2014, and we were saddened to find out that he had passed away this morning. Blessedly, peacefully, and surrounded by family members. Thoughts and prayers go out to the Schottenheimer family. He was the 8th winningest coach in NFL history and beloved by the players. I'll read a message here from Philip Rivers, who had this to say about Marty. Coach Schottenheimer got the attention of a room and had a way of delivering the message he wanted received in a way only he could. I am very thankful I got to play for him my first 3 seasons in the NFL. Old school, very compassionate, very matter of fact, and just one heck of a coach. I can hear him now, one play at a time. Thoughts and prayers for Mrs. Pat, Coach B. Schotty, and the whole family. We'll now take a moment of silence to remember Coach Marty Schottenheimer. We'll see you guys next week. Bolt up.